Hello everyone, this is Seraphim playing Lady Night Saga, and I realized last time, after we started the new month and went to the ruins in the Snowy Mountains, I forgot to check the bounty monsters. So we have new bounty monsters every month, and this month we have the Flare Queen, a monster called the Flare Queen, sighted in the Fire Dragon's Cave. Yeah, it seems to have taken position in the deepest part, because of course it has. Something about this being a recently opened area, so yeah, things aren't able to proceed very well with this, so please deal with it. And the other one is Wait, isn't that what we fought in the... Yeah, this monster is already dealt with. So, I'll just load up an earlier save, because I kind of want to know what it says about that. Icecone, do you know about this? Yeah, it's said to nest in the... Dragonoid said to nest in the ancient ruins in the tunnel between here and... this city and Gran. I feel like you were meant to read this in Yukana, but okay. The investigation of the ruins is just getting started. Adventure Guilds put out the request to deal with it. Okay, so this tells you that this creature is a Dragonoid, so if you have anti-dragon attacks, that will deal with it. It also tells you it's in the ruins in the tunnel between Gran and Yukana, so that's another reason to go check that out. If you didn't remember, hey, there's that archaeologist person there, and also they mentioned the tunnel's open, so you might want to investigate that. Okay. On that note, if we look at Irunowa's stated class, you have like a ruins researcher, basically, so I don't know if that's a standard term for it, but that sounds an awful lot like an archaeologist to me. Anyway, let's head back to Pioneer. I think it was this statue? No, that's Jinkin. That one's not active yet. This one's Pioneer. So we have a statue to the right of this that will be activated later. And I think the one in the middle is also active eventually, so 2 more warps to get. Also note, the underwear salesman is no longer here. I think someone mentioned they were only here for the month, and indeed, with the month 5 over, they're no longer here. Yeah, I think this is the character who was talking about that before, saying, yeah, the underwear salesman, underwear shop Pachin has returned to the continent, but they're so expensive I couldn't buy them all. Apparently, it's currently in near the Northern Empire. Might be selling in a town to the north. Okay, so maybe they're in like Jinkit or Senin or something. But in any case, actually, can I do anything with Linyan yet? I haven't lost yet. I'm way stronger than you are. Nope, she still just wants to fight. And I'm pretty sure she hasn't gotten any stronger despite her boasting. Yeah. So that's same as before. So yeah, as this person says, I think we need to get one of those Momomon. It's just a question of where. Let's check if the guild has anything to say. Yeah, he's still saying they're not giving out new permits, but that doesn't matter. Anyone in the pub? Looks like the same people as always. Incidentally, Irunowa can do the mission with a shady person in the bar. Something to do with the alcohol. Right, and we can come back to the harbor and do the thing with this guy. Let's send Kirsten out, see what she comes up with. And we got one of those palm crab fruits. So like a crab coconut. Send Toto out. She'll come back with whatever. 100 gold this time. Again, this is completely random. Within a sort of set of things for each character. You can do 10 salvaging per month, so might as well do this and see if anything comes up. She gets another 100 gold. I think everything they can get is a 1 in 4 probability for each of 4 different options. There's a broken bottle. Okay, Toto brought Brom liquid back this time. And yeah, that's my 10 limit. So, yeah. Anyway, let's head back to the Fire Dragon's Cave. I think it has to still be accessible. Okay, that's still weathered and not showing anything. Yeah, he's talking about it. You're going to challenge the 4 great unexplored regions. Yeah, he's saying, too bad, but I'll be the first one. Sure you will, buddy. Yeah, the unexplored regions. Wagahai, that's the very arrogant first person that's mainly known from the novel I Am a Cat. Yeah, he's talking about how he's going to carve his name into history, and sure he is. Oh. It's already been cleared, but did you want to go to the Fire Dragon's Cave? So that's over here now. And this guy takes us to 3 new places now. The Crystal Forest, Ancient Tower, and Dark Ruins. But yeah, we're heading back to the Fire Dragon's Cave because there's a bounty monster here. Was the tutorial berry here all along? Yes, that's the one that talks about Anita's scored skills and how they have 2 attack types on them. The NPCs have all cleared out of the entrance because this is not the hot new place anymore. Although it is, in the literal sense, still quite hot. Yeah, with the extra levels and new equipment we have now, the monsters here seem pretty trivial, actually. Save here. And come to think of it, yeah, I went back to the Icy Ruins and farmed for the fiery snow girls there. As you may recall, these regular snow girls on the mountain drop these snow crystals relatively often. The rare thing is crystallized ice magic power. The fiery snow girls can drop these. These are flame crystals. It's a very rare thing made of ice crystallized by, or fire crystallized by ice magic. Yeah, like I said, they're kind of a contradiction in terms. Fiery ice girls. Anyway. These are still good money, if you can hit them before they run away. But yeah, it looks like there's nothing else in the depths here. I was kind of expecting there to be something on the side, but just this. And yeah, looks... Well, at first I thought it was like a snake one, but no, this seems more like it's just kind of a bulbous bottom half, and I don't even know what else is going on here. But regardless, we are in the Fire Dragon's Cave still, so ice and water will probably work. Slower its attack. Yeah, she has that ice slash. And does she have any... She can attack up herself, as well as agility up the group, so let's do that. Yeah, I switched the party composition around a bit, bring in some of the characters who weren't quite as high level. Did I just freeze her? Yeah, that did freeze her. Okay then. That could make this a little too easy. Now, let's try out her new skill that we got from that one event. Yeah, it would be more impressive against a group, but the damage is decent. But yeah, I took Barbara in particular out of the group, despite her still kind of needing the levels, because I don't have any good hammers. We got new weapons for just about everything else, but yeah, best hammer I have is still that smash stick, which is... It was good for a while, but now it's just outclassed, and Barbara was lagging behind everyone else. Let's just keep hitting. And yeah, that wasn't so bad. Did seem to be weak against ice, I'm not entirely sure of that, but regardless, that's dealt with. I looked around Jinkut and Senin and even the northern village, and no sign of the underwear merchant. I think there's another remote village we get access to later on, but for now, looks like they're just not accessible. So I'll turn in the bounties. Oh, I never turned in for the giant palm crab. So there's 2,000 for that. Or the Teflon Golem, there's another 2,000. Flayer Queen, 4,000. And Ice Goron, 4,500. So that's quite a bit of money. Anyway, let's head back to the carriage stop and try one of those other dungeons. Might as well go down the list top to bottom, so Crystal Forest it is. And we're off. Okay, we've got windy ambience. Looks like a cliffside. Kind of a nice background, not too fancy, but it works. Crystal Forest this way. Okay. Not new music. Isn't this the same as in the Fire Dragon's Cave? Okay, Magic Crystal. Let's save here. There's the save point. You can also change your party configuration at these in case you've forgotten about that. Yeah, and on that note, let's take a quick look of who we actually have in the party and who we don't have more specifically. As I mentioned at some point, I'm pretty sure you get 2 characters for every zodiac sign, not counting Stella and I think another character who's sort of special. So that basically means weapons. So first off we got Reno, who's daggers, and Aoi, who is fists. They are so far the only characters we have with those weapon types. Barbara and Paula are 2 hammer users. We got them awfully early on, and honestly, they both end up being pretty mediocre later on. It's just the way it goes. So we had Katerin and Manami were our offensive mages. She's fire and earth specialist. She's a ice and wind specialist. Yeah, different characters with the same weapon type tend to have different niches. Like even with these 2, Paula's more offense, Barbara's more support. This, we have Rosalie and Hilda are our archers. Hilda has the instant death attack. Rosalie has better general offense, I believe. We have Nachiko, who is currently our only rapier user. And rapier skills kind of meh. They're more debuffs and weakening status effects kind of things, not great for damage. She does have a good debuff with that curse skill. But yeah, we have Uther there, and Leafia, who I have in the party, are our spear users. They're kind of hybrid mage attacker support characters. Leafia's wind, Uther is earth, and has more debuffs. Yeah, Leafia more offensive, Uther more defensive. We have Irunowa and Zephy are our 2 two-handed sword characters. Irunowa gets the ice attack and the self-buff heal. Zephy has better stats overall and the Dragon Slayer skill. So really, Irunowa kind of feels like the consolation prize if you didn't get Zephy. And if you get them both, then honestly, Zephy's just better. Now we have 2 cleric types. We have Nanahime, who's a proper cleric with holy magic, and we have, where is she? Wheelie, who is the alchemist with light/lightning magic, but other than that, they're pretty similar. We have our axe users are Kirsten, the pirate, and Horn, the farm girl. Kirsten, I think, is generally better. She has that bombardment skill, she has an anti-air thing, whereas Horn she can bake bread to heal, which, it's not great, but it's something different. We have our two toy users, Raji and Toto. Toys are kind of garbage, but Raji at least is interesting because she has the innate resistances, she has the dark and evil skills that no one else gets. And in longswords, we have Anita and Linda, who again fill different niches. Anita has those multi-target, multi-damage type skills that are great for clearing out random encounters, whereas Linda, at least if you got that optional H scene, has the werewolf type ability that she buffs her attack and everything else, and is especially good against bosses. But yeah, at this point we're missing a dagger character, a martial arts character, you can probably guess who that is, and a rapier character who we've also met, plus a fourth character who we've met that's sort of special. Anyway, let's explore the dungeon. Yeah, that's a teleporter, no surprise there. This one doesn't react. There are some chests over there. Looks like we're on floating islands. Yeah, of course that's not as simple as going back on there. Yeah, that probably connects the teleporter down there once I figure out how to activate it. Yeah, this branches... There's more teleporters there. But yeah, this branches out, so... Let's just look around this area first. We have new monsters. Twin Bee, that would be the bee with two heads. Kirikabuman. Kirikabuman? Probably that thing. Kind of looks like a wooden version of an Easter Island head. Raftashid. A rafter seed? Apparently that thing. And for now, let's just attack and see how that does. Okay, it didn't like that, but it was a critical hit. That has a sleep attack. Sleep pollen. That drains life. Half the party's asleep. But other than the status effects, these don't seem so bad. Yeah, I have Nanahime with the Kakara to do actual damage without MP. It's not great damage, but it's something. There's another magic crystal. Over here... Well, this is a different color anyway. Okay, Sky Dryad? Doriado, but I think that's supposed to be Dryad. Sky Dryads. They can buff their own agility, and they're pretty quick to begin with. Note that a second buff has no effect. You're either buffed or you're not buffed. There's no layering them. They seem pretty harmless. Magic grass? Is that a usable thing, or is it just an ingredient? Looks like it's a material, so probably near the bottom. Yeah, the previous battle brought one of those also. We got your slimy, bulbous-looking things over here. So orange slimy things there, blue crystals on the top, and purple rocks on the right. Okay, we got the seeds again, and we have a Manmen flower. This is something we could have encountered all the way back in month 1, or at least a variant of it, with an optional H scene. Because there's someone that wanted to collect seeds from these things. I think it was the suspicious character at the bar. So if you accept that quest and then go investigate that mysterious spot in the... Oh great, everyone's aroused now. Let's kill it with fire then. I think it's just fenced down. We don't like aroused status around here. Okay, so drop the non-men cherry. That's a thing that I believe was usable. But yeah, there it is. Non-men cherry. You eat it, it recovers MP, but yeah, as I recall, it inflicts that aroused status. But apparently that's just a random encounter around here. Yeah, purple rock-looking things. Let's start over here for the heck of it. Is that a... No, that's just a pillar. Okay, we've got Psyche golems. All seal. Honestly, most attacks are not much of a threat. Especially since I'm not even using magic for the moment. That's a revival potion. Okay, another teleporter there. I think this is the one that was causing sleep, so let's focus on that. And B has a poison attack. I suppose that's not surprising. Okay, that's an anti-fire band. Isn't that the thing I was using on several characters? Yeah, that's attack and defense, and... I'll give Leafia one. Okay, so there's another teleporter further out there. Probably going to be something similar in each of the other 3 directions. Now, I think I'm going to save and continue this next time. So until then, this has been Araphone playing Lady Night Saga, and we have a dungeon to explore. Several dungeons, actually.